time to highlight some full coverage of the third round of the Moto2 World Championship of 2023. We're at the Circuit of the Americas, more commonly known as COTA, and the Americas Grand Prix is a latest in a long chain of very interesting Moto2 races. The opening two rounds, however, have been dominated by pretty much two-horse racing. Will today be any different? Let's take a look and sync up at the start of the parade lap. The grid is formed, we're all set to go. This is how they line up on the grid. Giustino Vietti has pole position, Pedro Acosta is second, Philippe Salak is third. Ben Schneider is fourth, Lopez is fifth, Jake Dixon for Great Britain is sixth on the grid. Aaron Canet is seventh, Antonio Albuino eighth. Then we get Manuel Gonzalez ninth, Jeremy Alcoba 10th, Femina Aguirre is 11th, Barry Boltus 12th, Albert Arenas is 13th, Dennis Foggia 14th. Somkat Chantra is in 15th position, Joe Roberts 16th. 17th on the grid for Ayagora. Sam Lowes starts 18th as well after a poor qualifying performance. But let's hope he has the race pace with him at a track he's had mixed relations with over the years. 19th on the grid for Lorenzo Dalla Porta, Sergio Garcia is 20th, Zonta van der Gulsberg is 21st, 22nd for Sean Dylan Kelly, Lucas Tulovic is 23rd, Rory Skinner is down in 24th position, 25th for Marcos Ramirez, 26th for Roger Gomez, Isaac Antola 27th, 28th for David Sanchez, and 29th on the grid for Minaminto as well. Conditions are looking good, 35 degrees is track temperature, air temperature is at 18 degrees, we have 35% humidity, and the Moto2 Championship is looking extremely good. And this is how they line up as well in terms of the world standings. Tony Albuino leads on 41 points as well, Aaron Canet is 8 back on 33. Pedro Acosta is 29, and then we get Jake Dixon on 26, Philippe Salak 22, Alonso Lopez on 20, Manuel Gonzalez on 16, Lowes is 15, the same as Arenas Chantra. Then we get Garcia on 12, Binder has 10, and Dixon has crashed out. Dixon has crashed out from the front row of the grid. Jake Dixon has crashed at the exit of turn 8 and is out. That's the second crash we've seen on a warm-up lap. And Jake Dixon, let's see how he did it. Into turn 8, he's going to hit the bump at the top of the hill, isn't he? And the bike's just going to fly on him. Yeah, and it's a bad accident. And it's on the warm-up lap at turn 9 and into 8, 9, 10. Well, a front row start once again thrown away by Jake Dixon. He's a fantastic rider, but he crashes too often. That's where it gets worse. So yellow flag rescinded. We'll return to the standings where we were talking as well about Garcia on 12. Binder not racing after an injury in practice. He's on 10. Vietti 8. Alcoba 6. Aguirre 4. The same as Boltus, Roberts. And that's the last of the point scoring positions. Well, Jake Dixon won't start. Sam Lowes is starting down in 18th position. Jake Dixon starting 6th on the grid on the second row will not start. And you just have to wonder, what did Britain do to the motorcycle world after Barry Sheene left? Kyle Crutchlow is a race winner, but we just keep losing them. We keep losing the good ones. Oh well. Here we go again then. The Moto2 Grand Prix of the Americas. They're all lined up on the grid. There's number 13, Giustino Vietti. Will line up on pole position. Pole position on the right-hand side here as well. Then dead centre will be Acosta. Salak will be on the left. Vietti has the run towards turn 1. Will it be the greatest? From a TV standpoint, Vietti's on the left, Acosta in the middle, Salak on the right. It's an outside line for Vietti up to turn 1. Green flag at the back, which means it's time to look to the lights for the start of the Moto2 America's Grand Prix. Lights out, pull the throttle back. Good start as well from Acosta from the middle of the road. He'll have the lead against Vietti on the run up towards turn 1 with ease as they enter the first corner. Are they all going to get through cleanly? There's a few of them bumping in the middle of the pack as well. Just about. Few coming on the curbs there, including Barry Boltus. Dixon didn't start the race, but we knew that coming. Now it's a battle between Lopez, Acosta and Vietti. And Alonso Lopez takes the lead of the Americas Grand Prix. Vietti has dropped down into 6th position. A terrible start for the pole sitter. Lopez leads, Acosta 2nd, Albarino 3rd. The championship leader getting right up there in the mix already. And Tulovic, according to the monitor, has crashed out at the top of turn 8. Well, we're at there now. Tulovic has crashed out. Ryder is okay, according to the monitor. So 2 retirements already before we get to turn 11. As up the inside comes Pedro Acosta and Alonso Lopez. And Acosta takes the lead. Lopez gets the comeback. And Alonso Lopez retakes the lead. Down the back straight we come. It's 0.746 of a mile. That's 1.2 kilometres long before the braking zone for turn 12. And Acosta's going to fight back on the inside line. Acosta takes the lead. Lopez down to 2nd. Alcoba to 7th as well, as more runners and riders chopping over as well. It's a long yellow flag here in the middle sector as well for Lukas Tulovic as well. I hope he's okay and we don't have to stop the race. Canat's up to 4th. Salak's down to 5th. Was that a move and a half? As Roberts getting a little bit of a shove there mid-pack. No jump starts, says race control. Timing screens have yet to come up on the actual monitor here, so we're relying on the data that you are seeing the same as me up here in the boxes. Acosta holds Lopez from Albarino, Canat, Salak, top 5. As Lopez, I think, has gone wide, trying to retake the lead away from Acosta. And Acosta leads, and Albarino's going to slip up the inside as well at the end of the first lap. So, Lopez is down into 3rd position, lap 2 of 16 here, and we completed that one in about 2 minutes. Actually, the timing screens aren't showing us all the relevant information at the moment on the data screen because they've had a bit of a glitch. The yellow flag's been rescinded, which is great news. As Acosta leads, Albarino 2nd on the 14, then we got the 21 of Lopez in 3rd position. Now we get our timing screens as Barry Bolt is up to 10th position as well. As Boben Schneider, the worst starter, down 10 positions, started 4th, down now to 14th position. Vietti down 7. Roberts is up 7, so he's got to P9. Albarino's up 6 places, up to P2. Aguirre, Firmino Aguirre, is up into P6 as Lopez slips up the inside at turn 9 and 10 on Tony Albarino with a livery at the front of the bike that looks like a lion bar, and he's got through. So Lopez takes 2nd, Albarino down into 3rd, but that's not going to hold. This Moto2 race beginning to feel like a Moto3. This is exciting stuff because usually we see the pack racing going together as Albarino's under pressure from Aaron Canat, who's going to send it down the inside, and Aaron Canat takes 3rd position. Albarino can't do anything to stop that as well. Now he's under pressure as well from Philip Salak just behind him in 5th position as we head down the back straightaway towards turn 12. That is Jake Dixon going, what is going on? In the BT Sport picture as he's back in the garage after his warm-up lap crash. So not a great start there, unfortunately. Tulovic crashed. Dixon didn't even start the race as Albarino has repassed Aaron Canat. There is Jake Dixon going, what happened there with the bike? What happened with the bike? He hit the accelerator and it flipped on him. Well, so I think Gas are going to start to have a little bit of a word with Dixon as well. He does have, it's unfair, but he does have a reputation of crashing, does Jake Dixon, in crucial positions, and this time he's crashed before the start. I just hope it wasn't his fault, and it was a bike error, as Albarino's under pressure again from Aaron Canat, who slips back up the inside at turn 19 to take 3rd position. And now, Albarino slips back at him in turn 20 to retake 3rd. And now here comes Philip Salak and Jeremy Alcoba and Firmino, and that's Ayagura as well coming in. So Firmino Ayagura in 7th position is coming into the fight. At the moment though, the 2 at the front, and then, 3 at the moment, 3 at the moment. Albarino will lead on 57 points. Acosta will be 3 points back, so Acosta leading this race, but Albarino in 3rd place, battling with Canat, Salak and Alcoba and Ayagura. It's going to be Albarino leading the title on 57 points as well. So that's the at stake at the moment, because it's going to be 54 points as well for Acosta, Pedro Acosta, who won the season opener back in Portugal, you might remember. They're all on YouTube now as well, so you can keep an eye on it. And now Aaron Canan goes wide, coming through turn 9, leaves himself vulnerable to Philip Salak into 10, and he just about gets it shut the door as they come now down towards turn number 11 for the third time. Lovely to hear the Calax bikes as well, along with the Prospero tuning away in the forwards as well, creating the unique noise you hear in the Moto2 category as well. Sounds like we're back in the old days as well of completely unrelated stroke engines as we get Vietti up to 9th position. Arenas is down. Arenas here down into 10th position as Acosta's made a mistake. Acosta's gone wide. He's locked up. The bike had to save it, and he's gone straight on. And Lopez takes the lead, and Alberino goes into second, and Pietro Acosta makes a rookie error into turn 12. It's been catching people out all weekend. Now he's under pressure from Aaron Canan, who slips through on the inside line, coming into turns number 13 and 14 and into 15 as well. So that has changed the running order once again into 15. So the track order is actually, the track map's different to what we see as in Formula One. It's slightly different, so it's catching me out where we are on the track as well. But because turn 12 now looks like 15, but that's not the case in real life. It's a bit different. So the map's wrong on our charming graphics up here in the commentary box as well. You can probably see it better on that little graphic we've got down in the bottom corner here as well. But Lopez 209.866. Boltus 209.848 now. So Barry Boltus has the fastest lap of the race as Acosta comes back up the inside of Aaron Canan and retakes third position into turn number 1. Lap 4 of 16 then here of the Moto2 America's Grand Prix. And to say all hell is breaking loose would be an understatement. This is more exciting than the Moto3, and we had quite a great race start. You saw that just before here on the YouTube channel. We're running them back to back, the Moto3, Moto2 this evening. Moto3 first, then Moto2 comes next. So if you stuck with us on the two streams and the highlights and the watch-alongs just here on Monday, well done. You can see what we're on about for the excitement that we are seeing. And this is the this is Acosta going wide then at turn 12. The rear of the brake locks up. Bike nearly sent him out wide, and through goes Lopez and Alberino to take the lead of the race.
Let's have a listen, Michael.
Michael Laverty. Hit neutral. It hit neutral.
They have an auto blip, and it sounded like you sometimes don't do a full motion, especially when you're shifting back 5 gears at one go. You try and do it as fast as possible, and sometimes you don't get a clean shift through, and if it doesn't travel its full stroke, it won't engage the gear properly, and it did seem there was a slight red error there from Pedro Acosta.
Oh, and another one as well from Albert Arenas. He's dropped a couple of positions as he's gone wide at the top of turn 12. So it was Acosta hitting the neutral gear, and that gave him no drive to get out of the corner, so he would have fallen. So that's a very unusual thing for a rider to do. As Michael Evans is saying, usually you have an audio blip in your ear to tell you, but it hasn't gone off in that instance. So that's very strange to forget what gear you're in, but he is racing. So Acosta in third. And he's closing himself back up. We're highlighting Barry Boltus, who's running in 8th position right now in the number 7 bike. And he is hanging on to the back of this battle. Oh, Lorenzo Dalla Porta has crashed out. Rider okay, according to our timing screens, but yellow in sector 4 as Lorenzo Dalla Porta is out of the race. And now we've got a lead change as well, as we're having Lopez under pressure from Alberino coming out of turn number 1. Alberino can try and swing round the outside of turn 2. It's not going to work out. Lopez keeps the lead, and Alcoba will be flying in. Dalla Porta's crashed at turn 18, so that's coming through the 3 triple rights at the same part, 16, 17, 18. He's deep in the gravel trap, actually. The airbag's got off too, so that must have been a high side coming through, like it gripped mid-corner and spat him up. He's walking away, though, which is great news. Oh, Lopez, you just hear him as well. Michael Laverty in the background, a little bit wide there, coming out of turn 8 into the top 9, 10, and down towards turn 11. Alberino's got a great run. We're riding with him now. Can he make the move on Lopez on the inside? Alberino going for the lead of the race. Drops there a little bit late. Can he get it stopped? Yes, he can. Lopez trying gets the comeback. They'll go side by side at the exit then, and they are going side by side. But Alberino gets the downhill gear shift right, blocks off Lopez, and here comes Acosta right round the outside. Can he get the pair of them to retake the lead of the Grand Prix? No, he can't. Can't even get Lopez before the braking zone for turn number 12. 1.2 kilometres straight, gone in around about 10 seconds. That's how much you've got to be right on the limit here. As Alberino holding the way, Lopez and Acosta right there to capitalise. Fantastic race we are seeing in Moto2 here. It's more like a Moto3. 5 of 16, 12 to go here at Kota. And can we see Acosta close back in? He's closing. This is the 16, 17, 18 complex, the triple right that we were talking about a few moments ago, where Lorenzo Della Porta crashed out on the previous lap. It's past the pagoda as well here, the massive pagoda with the glass balcony suspended in the air. That's how much it is, as Lopez had a bad exit there at the last corner, and Acosta's going to go for it up towards turn number 1. The American flag getting in the way here as they come on the inside line, and Acosta takes second position. He might even try to take the lead away from Alberino, hasn't managed to do so. So again, lead changes. Alberino to Acosta to Lopez. Top 3 leaders changing positions. As Sergio Garcia, I haven't mentioned him much this season. A championship runner-up last year. 14th at the moment for Sergio Garcia. As they try and come through. But I tell you what, the Moto3 champion from last year, Azan Guevara, still in, not having a great weekend so far. As Guevara, looking at the board up here in the commentary box, is down in 24th position, so not exactly the easiest run at the moment. Just that Moto3 rider Stefano Nepa has broken his leg and is declared unfit. So that's the latest breaking news. Stefano Nepa, the 82 rider in Moto3, has broken his leg and is declared unfit. So that's unbelievable for Stefano Nepa. He's broke his leg. So we'll keep you up to date with that. And any more news, you see, as Alcoba is up the inside of Philip Salak and changes over. Alberino's been told on the dashboard, right behind is Pietro Acosta. The gap is 0.1 of a second. So the 2 championship protagonists are battling their way through here. Medical update as well for Stefano Nepa. Oh, well, that's just broken his leg. Yeah, we knew that as well as it comes through. So that'll get added on to our highlights programme for Moto3 at the end of the show when I do my presentation bits as well, which I do after the race as well. The race is live. The presentation bits you see at the side aren't as well. So we'll add that to the show for Moto3. So if you're watching it back to back, you already know that. But now you know, if you're watching Moto2 highlights, you know where I got it from. 10 laps to go then here, lap 7 of 16, and Acosta was the fastest on the last lap compared to the top 3, 2:09.556, but it's Jeremy Alcoba in 5th position who's got the fastest lap as well on a 2:09.465. So he has the fastest lap as things stand. Can Acosta get in the slipstream battle of Tony Alberino coming through the Mickey Mouse section? We're riding with him. We can hear a little bit off-board angle, but no is the answer. Can't seem to find a shift between them. Lopez is actually dropped by these two. The gap between Acosta and Canat. Hang on a minute. Lopez is down. Lopez is down into 5th position. Canat's up. And what's happened? Vietti's down to 10th. But what's happened to Alonso Lopez? He's had a moment somewhere on that track because Aaron Canat has now gone up into 3rd position. And Jeremy Alcoba is in 5th. Jeremy Alcoba's 4th. Lopez down to 5th position now. And now we've got a battle going on as Barry Boltus up to 6th position, passes Philip Salak. So Canat 3rd, Alcoba 4th, Lopez 5th. They've just changed on our timing pictures when I was saying what the gap was between them. And now that's really done it as Acosta trying to go around the outside of Alberino, not making it stick coming into turn 12. And really now, He's starting to push. He's starting to think what I can do. They've got a 1.2 seconds, so these two begin to check out. Nat is with Jake Dixon.
I have no idea. Said to the team, something strange happened. I don't know what. We need to wait till the bike comes back, because for me, I did pretty much everything the same, but for some reason I lost rear grip, and then it gripped, and then it was like just a bucking bronco, and then I went down, and I was just so surprised. I'm not stupid. I know how to ride a bike, and I don't crash on warm-up laps. So something we need to have a look at, because it's unacceptable to be like this. And when you're trying to fight for a world championship, you can't be crashing on a warm-up lap. So yeah, it's a joke.
Equally frustrating, compounds it, because we thought a podium was in sight for you today.
Yeah, well, in hindsight, it's a wonderful thing, but it is what it is. I need to regroup at the next race and see what we can do.
Thanks, Jake.
I want to say right here, right now, I apologise to Jake Dixon for saying he has a reputation for crashing, because he just said, I felt a bit attacked there, over there, but even though it's not the commentary, he can't hear it, but I do feel a little bit like, oh, I've been a bit too mean to him. So it gripped on him as well. We've seen that a lot this weekend as well. But Jake, understandably frustrated. Nice of him to talk to BT Sport there. Nat Quirk is talking there. Battle for the lead continuing. They've checked out. Alcoba leads to Acosta. Then it's a 1.323 second gap to Aaron Canet, who's in a battle for 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, which is Canet, Alcoba. Oh, Barry Boltus! No! Barry Boltus has crashed out of the Grand Prix. And that is at the top of turn 10. Exactly where Jake Dixon crashed, and that is not fair for Barry Boltus. It must be the same thing where the track just gripped on him as well. We're seeing it so much this weekend. So Barry Boltus's great weekend ends here. 9 to go as Acosta is closing in on the back of Albarino, trying to find the difference between the two of them, and out wide again goes Alonso Lopez, losing more positions to Salak and Femin Ayagura. Track temperature. The ambient temperature now is 20 degrees. Track temperature is at 35 degrees still. So it hasn't changed that much as we're waiting for the timing screens to progress and catch up with us. They've had a lot simpler weekend at the moment, as Rory Skinner's up to 19th position and Borja Gomez is up to 20th. Sergio Garcia down at 22nd position as we bring in the yellow flag to end that one. And Feminine Goa diving on the inside, making a move on Philip Salak and gets it stick. So we see Alcoba to 4th. This is the replay, and this is turn 12, has Alonso Lopez going out wide. We'll get a track limits warning for that. Now we're going to look at Albarino and Pietro Acosta. So this is the replay then of Lopez going out wide at turn 12. It's nothing we need to be concerned about. Marcos Ramirez down 24th. Shorten and Kelly has passed Zonta van der Gulsberg as well. So you can see those manoeuvres happening on the timing tower as Ramirez is into the pit lane actually, probably to retire, which is absolutely horrible. As they see, Acosta still challenging in. He's still going to push as hard as he possibly can. He's got a great exit as well. At the moment, Albarino will lead the championship by 17 points to Pietro. That can't be right, surely, because there's not that big of a gap in the standings for that to do so. So I don't know how that's correct. It's got from being 1 point between them to 17 points between them. I don't think that's exactly 100% correct. We've got the ability to check up here in the commentary box. No, it is correct. Tony Albarino lead the title by 17 points to Pedro Acosta, 66 to 49. Acosta and Canet will be level on points. They finish second and third. And then Philip Salak with 34 points back. He'll be on 32 points in total. I didn't think that was actually going to work out that way until just then. 25 for the race win, 20 for second. So surprised that's actually changed over the way it has as we come forward. Just been informed that the tweet deck has been frozen for the first 9 laps of this race. It's been showing Moto3. So let's get Moto2 sorted. There we go. On tweet deck as you watch along, but luckily everyone uses the same hashtag. It all generates together anyway. As Lorenzo Della Porta is now classified in 25th position as Marcos Ramirez has officially retired from the race. So we're down to 24 runners then with 8 laps to go with the America's Grand Prix. for Moto2. Anyone finding anything out? Anyone finding anything funny? This is what we're seeing as Alcoba goes very wide. Acosta gets a great exit coming out the last corner. Acosta's going to try and go around the outside and towards turn number 1 to get the lead. He's surely going to have to be a cutback manoeuvre. He's thinking about it, but Alberino can't keep making those mistakes because Acosta's going to be on him every which way. A fascinating battle between the top 2 in the Riders' Championship as we see Marcos Ramirez officially retire from the Grand Prix as Femini Aguirre is up into 4th position. Jeremy Alcoba down into 5th. This is absolutely fantastic stuff. Wheel-to-wheel stuff between the 2 championship protagonists so early in the championship in round 3. We really are being utterly spoiled, and I hope everyone at home is enjoying this one as they come through. Can Acosta find the slipstream battle he needs and get a run coming down towards turn number 11? We're into this part of the track now. No, I don't think he can. They've pulled out 2.234 seconds to Aaron Canet. So 2 seconds now between the battle for 3rd all the way down to around about 9th. Oh, and Sergio Garcia's retired. Well, there was something wrong. We mentioned it earlier on in the commentary. It was weird seeing him so far down the order. So Sergio Garcia's retired from the race. Something was obviously wrong with that bike that we didn't see. As are we going to see Acosta having a battle on Alberino? No, we are not. This is certainly a more entertaining. Oh, wide again goes Alonso Lopez, the 4th time in this race. And we're just 10 laps in, 7 to go. Well, 6.5 to go, really, on this one. Desperately trying to find the time as they continue on. Lopez looks like he's struggling, actually. He's dropped now to 7th position. I wonder if Lopez might be on course to retire from this race as Albert Arenas moves up to 9th ahead of pole sitter Chiastone Vietti, who's dropped down to 10th position. He has had a worse race than anybody out there today to drop that far down the order, I can tell you. As Acosta still hunting down the gap now to 2.4 seconds. 6 laps to go of the America's Grand Prix here on Austin, Texas as they cross the control line now. And we drop down to a gap that now reads as 2.6 seconds to Alberino Acosta, and then we get Cannon in 3rd as that gap 2.7 by the time they reach turn number 1 in the mini sectors. These guys are pushing like mad. Lopez is just trundling out there. It looks like he's got a problem to me. I would not be looking at the bike's giving up on him, I think. The whole shot device is failing on him as well at the back. This is 10 laps to go, and this was Lopez running out wide on the rumble strips. So I think something's failed on the back of the bike for Alonso Lopez, and it's chugging along. And I'm seeing the back of the bike suspension moving up and down with it as well as they hit the curb. So I wonder if he has got some sort of suspension damage and can't put the power fully down, otherwise he risks a high side. So it might explain Lopez's lack of pace in this race. 3 seconds though. The top 2 have pulled out now to Canet. That's an insane amount these 2 are pushing each other for this race win. And this is all the action we need to be. And this is what we love about MotoGP. It's not like in Formula 1 where we have to stay a distance as well and we don't get to see the riders, the drivers in that case in Formula 1. In Moto2, Moto3, MotoGP, the cameras are zoomed right in on them and we can see their every expression as Acosta lunged closer to Alberino, backs out coming into turn 12 as well. Vietti up into 9th position, passes Albert Arenas in for 10th position, but now these 2 are battling. 3.4 seconds they're changing as Barry Boltus for the Fienten Ole Racing GP team watches on, and this is why he's out of the race. Crashing out. Oh, he dropped it coming out turn 9. Bike hits the barrier. Oh, it was lucky actually not to burst the air fence there. That would have stopped the race because it did hit the air fence, and that would have stopped it if it had popped as well. So great news there. We didn't have to stop the Moto2 America's Grand Prix because that is always a hard thing to talk through with a red flag period, because if you want to sync up right, we've just sort of got to go with it and suffer the consequences together, so everybody knows where we are. Anyway, as we come back through, 5 to go. The gap across the line reads as 3.8 seconds. My goodness me. Alberino and Acosta are pushing each other like mad. Acosta's having a go on the inside in turn number 1. He's fighting for control of the motorcycle as well, trying to get ahead of Alberino. Can't seem to find a position to do so. Can he try then? A run into turn 12 is his only opportunity, because through this first sector, the only opportunity to overtake is turn 8. And it hasn't been working out, as that is Aaron Canet getting ahead of the 12 of Philip Salak. So that's a repass going on for 6th position, and for 5th position rather, taking away from 6th. As they cut back is the 12 of Philip Salak going to have a fight back. I'm not too sure he is coming through that part of the track, you know. It's a bit too far out as we cut back to the leaders. As into turn 11 we come, and Alberino again just shutting the door. Acosta trying to find a way through. Pedro Acosta, an upcoming star in the Moto3, Moto2 categories. He's proving his points. Oh, he's gone on the red. He's going to pass the white line. Acosta's going to be careful with that, otherwise they'll get a penalty for it. As he tries to look on the inside of Alberino into turn 12. He's not going to be careful enough, and they stay in second. But yeah, Acosta went over the white line onto the red patch. We just saw on board with Alberino. So if you go, it's an automatic sensor to the stewards. You will get a penalty. If you do it 3 times, it's a time penalty on the last lap. You drop a position as well. So Acosta can't do that in a couple of laps if he goes for this race win. Oh, he nearly high-sides it. He has a moment coming out of turn number 15, and Acosta loses time to Alberino. Manages to pick the bike up and he'll stay with it, but that was just a little bit of a twitch there for Pietro Acosta that he didn't need at a very vital time of this Grand Prix. Alberino leads 3/10 now to Acosta. That can be gained very quickly, but in Moto2 it needs to be like a 1/10 of a second to make the move. It's so tight between. It's like in Formula 1 where if it was 3/10 they'll be side by side with each other. Bikes are much smaller than Moto2 than Formula 1 cars as well. 3/10 is an eternity in these opportunities to make the move. It's effectively just your body width and 2 tyres in front of you to make moves. Is that the inside? Speaking of which, Lopez gets passed is that Bowman Schneider in 7th position? Yeah, it is. Bowman Schneider up to 7th. As Lopez is up as well, closing. He's still now in 8th position. I thought he was going to have another look on the inside of Ben Schneider, but he hasn't. Oh, Sam Lowes is in 14th position behind Dennis Foggia. Foggia's got a track limits warning as well on the side of the timing tower, so he's a big no-no. There we go. Acosta's pulled the gap down now to 0.1 of a second. To be factual, it's now 0.142. The gap is closing down. Replay.
Obviously, where it happened with Aaron Canet, I think it must be we're riding on board with.
He's going to turn it up the inside.
Yep. Oh, and he's going to stand him up.
Slightly wider, yeah. But the beauty of having a bike that handles a little bit different than all the Calixes around you, the Bosco Oscuro,
it's Acosta going for it.
Line, you can maybe dive up the inside.
Acosta's going to do that as well, trying to look for the lead of the race in towards turn number 12. He can't do it. Sorry, could have crossed you, Michael. But, yep, he was getting very close there as he tries to cut back through. I apologise for everyone who's listening to Michael Laverty, and I've shut him off because I'm trying to make sure we don't miss the overtake for the race. Alberino's riding defensive now. He's trying to block all the attack lines with mega defence, and Acosta just saying, don't worry, I'm not going to go for it this early. There's still 3 laps to go after this, and I'm going to pick my moment. I know exactly where I'm going to overtake you. I know exactly where to make the position, and I know exactly how to make it stick. And Alcoba is, this is going to be different for him in 4th position. He's fighting with Feminine Agura. He's closing it down. Can we just point out that the top 4 are all A's? Alberino, Acosta, Iagura, Alcoba, and Acosta's got the run towards turn number 1, very, very wide, and yes, he's gone wide. Alberino makes a mistake, and Pietro Acosta takes the lead of the Moto2 America's Grand Prix, and that changes the championship. Now, Alberino will still lead, but now the gap will be as it came in, just 7 points between them. They nullify. So, Alberino is going to have to fight if he wants this 5 extra points to put him on 66. He's trying to find a way through. Acosta is defending as hard as he can. Now we've got a fight It was a turn 1 mistake from Alberino that's put Acosta into the lead. Now we're going to see how Acosta does trying to defend and how he does trying to stop the 14 behind him, because he's coming on the inside already towards turn number 11. Nope, backs out of it. Not me, Gov. Not going to make the move there. Decides to back out. Back on the accelerator we go. Back down towards turn 1. Let's take a listen to the straights.
But on this roller coaster of a back straight.
Is he going to make the
Down
move?
towards turn 12. No move this time.
Interesting on the onboard when we've seen Arbolino in front.
Oh.
Acosta's gone wide! Acosta's gone wide! Acosta's gone wide! And the lead changes again! Acosta went wide again at turn 12, and Alberino takes the lead of the race. I thought he was a bit out of shape, and he's gone wide. Well, this lead is changing again and again. In Moto2, you can't write it. What is going to happen next? Now, 3 to go. That's, I feel like, is going to be the last bit of water I'll have in this session, because this is going to get very competitive. 2.4 seconds the top two have got now to Femi Nayagura, who's running in 3rd position. They've got the gap if they want it. They've got the time. And again, a mistake coming into turn 20 for Alberino. Acosta's going to punish him on that. 2 laps to go. A total of 6.84. A total of 6.852 miles to go. And Acosta's back up the inside at turn 1. Alberino shuts the door on him as well. You're not going to get through this, and you're going to have to try and find a different way through. Alberino, 22 years old. Pietro Acosta, 18 years old, if you wanted that running order at the moment. Alberino is the feisty upcoming Italian. Acosta is billed as the next great Spanish world champion. And you can see the two of them battling together. Coming now in towards turn 9 and 10. Top of the hill. This is where we've seen a couple of riders drop it here this weekend. Not going to be the mistake for these two. And now down towards turn number 11. Acosta's closer than ever before to this part of the track. He swings to the outside as Alberino defends the inside line. Does he compromise the exit though? No, they both are keeping it squeaky clean. Now this is Acosta giving it a demo run now. As Tearwolf comes off the side of Alberino to try and distract Pietro Acosta. Visor strips getting put in here as weapons of war as Acosta comes on the inside line towards turn 12. Little mistake for Alberino. Acosta says thank you very much. Can't get through. Still backs out of it. So they can do twitching all they like, but it's not going to make anybody vanish. It's not going to make anyone slip through. Now, Acosta, smooth as you like, will get back on the path. Alberino will be right there as well. They're chopping and changing between each other, going left, going right, trying to get the underside of it as well. This is going to be decided for sure on the last lap. We've had a cracking Moto2 race here at Kota, way better than any other Moto2 we've seen so far this year and in a long while. We have a two-way fight between the leaders going into the last lap of the race, and it's to make things better between the two championship protagonists. Into the last corner. Last lap the call for the Americas Grand Prix. 3.426 miles to decide who is going to win this one. And Acosta in 2nd place. Looks to the inside. Uphill towards turn number 1. He's going to go for it. Alberino shuts the door. Not going to get through there. They both hit the bump and the curb. Downhill towards turn number 2. Oh, Acosta was a little bit ginger there as well. He was just ever so slightly having to control the slide of the bike. Alberino's flying with him too. They've pulled out 3.3 seconds to Femi Nayagura in 3rd position. Oh, Agura's repassed Canet. There's a battle that's going on here on the track. Right now, though, the battle for the lead is closing. They are so close together. They are a 10th apart. Exactly what do we see as Aaron Canet is up into 3rd position. Canet has passed Femi Nayagura. Just see in the background coming into turn 10 as now all eyes to Pedro Acosta in 2nd, who is going to lunge up the inside of the race leader. Alberino goes defensive. Into turn 11 we go. This could be the last opportunity for an overtake in this race. It'll be very hard to do into the last couple of corners. This is the first opportunity of the lap, and Acosta is going to take it with all his might. Maximum throttle for the two of them. Down the straight, they pulled out 4.1 seconds to 3rd and 4th at the moment. Acosta to the inside line towards turn number 12. He's going to go for it. Late on the brakes, she can. Arbolino gets on the grass. Acosta leads. Can he keep it down on the deck? Yes, he can. Now, Arbolino's going to try and cut back round the outside as there's further battles further back as well between Ayagura, Alcoba and Kanat. Alcoba's on the podium now in third position. It's all changed to the top three. Through now into turn 14 and the tight 15 left-hander, 16, 17 and 18. It's a triple right-hander linked together. And then it's going to be 19. Turn 20 with the overtaking opportunity. Alberino is right there with Acosta. Who's going to win it? Oh, and Acosta nearly drops it. Hits a bump coming through turn 18. It's not steady through 19. Last corner coming up. And is Alberino going to go for it? Acosta going defensive. Alberino coming round the back. It's going to be a cut to the line. It's a drag race to the line. It's side by side. Who's going to win? It's Pietro Acosta in a photo finish in America. Wins at Austin. Then it's Alberino. And boom, Ben Schneider gets a podium in third. He started the last lap in 6th position. The fight of Alcoba, Salak and Ayagura has put Ben Schneider into 3rd position. Respect between the two. And Ben Schneider coming there saying, I got third, you know. Unbelievable race. For the 2nd time this year, it's Pedro Acosta. 2 out of 3 races in 2023. Our first repeat winner. Tony Alberino 2nd to keep the championship lead. And Ben Schneider gets a podium in 3rd place after starting the last lap in 6th. Unbelievable race and an unbelievable Red Bull Grand Prix of the Americas. It's party time for Moto2, but it's Pedro Acosta, his 2nd win of the season. 2 out of 3 ain't bad in Texas. Here's the results then, with Pedro Acosta taking the win from Alberino, Ben Schneider's first podium. Then we get Alcoba, Salek, Agura, Lopez, Canet and Vietti round out the first of the top 9. Then looking further down the field, it's Gomez ahead of Chantra, Arenas, Lowe's in 13th, Foggia 14th, Agura with the final point, Roberts and Van der Golsberg in 17th. Then we get Dylan Kelly, Skinner, Gomez, Avara, Sanchez and Minaminto, the final of the scorers. Out of the race though, Sergio Garcia, Ramirez, Baltus, Della Porta, Tulovic and Jake Dixon crashing on the warm-up lap due to an error with the bike. In the Riders' Championship then, it's Tony Alberino leading by 7 points to Pedro Acosta. Aaron Canet is now 20 points back as well in a fierce battle with Philip Salak. Further down though, the only rider, the last one with points, is Ayagura. We've got 11 riders still not scoring points in the Moto2 season so far. So another classic Moto2 is certainly the best we've seen in the class for a long, long time. Pedro Acosta making it 2 out of 3 in the opening races as well after victory at the Algarve circuit for Portugal. And now here in the Americas, he takes as well, comfortably as well, going for the title lead. This is going to be a very interesting one with Tony Alberino being in 2nd, just holding it back as well. We'll see you next time then in 2 weeks when Moto2 heads back to Europe and the Spanish Grand Prix at Jerez. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.